Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz, and this is my video blog, Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news, as well as a preview of their upcoming game matchups. Now, that's usually my tagline for during the regular season, but unfortunately, the Texans season has ended in a playoff loss to the Baltimore Ravens. However, despite that one little low, the Texans have had a ton of highs for this young group. During this season. So I'm just going to do a quick recap of what the Texans have done and accomplished during this year. So first things first, Texans have established their future in all the right places. So it starts with head coach DeMeco Ryans, former Houston Texans player who went on to play for the Eagles. Then after his career, went on to be a defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers and became one of the hottest coaching prospects last season. And, a little bit of the season before that. Um, the Texans, with this hire, it seems like they got the guy that they actually wanted. Sorry. Make sure to make sure Barkley wasn't too loud on my TV. Anyway, it seems like the Texans actually got a hire that they wanted, and that made a whole world of difference compared to the previous two seasons. So, I mean, I can't remember if when they hired O'Brien the first time around, if he was that sought after as a head coach candidate. He was, a big name or whatever, but I don't know if people were just really just searching for him like that. And after O'Brien left, we all know the stints that happened with David Culley and Coach Lovie Smith. And so, it was looking kind of shaky with those two. But with bringing in DeMeco Ryans, it just seems like it was a key part of this rebuild. It was something that put a jolt in this entire organization. So they got the guy. It's something that really influenced the culture that this team embraced in this season. So with that being said, man, Ryan's is their guy, and they got it right. So long story short, they pretty much they got it right, and you can see that they got it right with how the players react to them and talk about them, and with the success that we've had this season. So another thing that's been established, our franchise quarterback, and for most of the Houston Texans history, the franchise quarterback it's been a shaky one. It's at best. It's been shaky at that position. The only other one is, number 4 that should not be named. So I'm going to respect that for y'all. But the only other time we really thought we had a quarterback was Deshaun Watson, and that, just soured out. So now, with CJ Stroud, number 2 overall pick, he gives hope for this entire franchise, for this entire fan base. Like, he really came in and he overachieved. You know what I'm saying? And so with rookie quarterbacks, you probably don't expect much of them, just no matter where they're drafted at, whether they're number 1 overall, whether they're number 31 overall. You know what I'm saying? You really don't expect too much on their plate. But with Stroud, it seems like he embraced the challenges of any doubts that were thrown his way. And you saw it with when he set the record for most passing attempts without an interception. You know what I'm saying? He really showed that strength of taking care of the football, which is something that he was really known for in college. So he's really like put up the numbers, you know what I'm saying? And what's even more impressive is he started his first few games off behind an injured offensive line, you know? So a veteran quarterback behind a banged up offensive line isn't going to have too good of a stretch, you know what I'm saying? But Stroud, he really like came in, he was still putting up big numbers, you know what I'm saying? And he really got this team pushed into a winning direction. So big up to him, our rookie of the year quarterback, according to the Pro Football Writers of America. And big up to our coach so far, coach of the year, for according to Pro Football Writers of America or whatever. So yeah, they got those two things right. Third and final thing that they kind of established is just the franchise players on defense. So obviously, Will Anderson, number 3 overall pick, but also Derek Stingley. He got hurt in his rookie season. That got cut short. He started this season off hurt. You know what I'm saying? Started this season off on injured reserve, but he came back, made a huge impact. Three straight games with an interception. You know what I'm saying? So he really made his mark on this defense. So it seems that, the Texans just really had their future established this year. And, it took a lot. There were some downs, but there were some ups, for all of those players that just mentioned, in addition, to the rest of the team, So it's looking real bright for the Texans, going forward with the new players that they selected and the new coach that they have, obviously. Um, Defying expectations has been a theme for this Texans team. Like, me personally, I didn't really have them doing too much this year. You have a rookie quarterback, rookie head coach. You know what I'm saying? You can't have those two things and expect a 10-game season, much less maybe even a 7-game season. You know what I'm saying? So he came in, he really just did his thing. You know what I'm saying? First year as a head coach, D'Amico just really turned this team around. And so, yeah, we credit Stroud and everything else, but I really think that, D'Amico deserves a ton of credit for, keeping this group on a high achieving path. This was the same team that last year they went 3-13-1. You know what I'm saying? Just 3 games, and now this year they upped it to 10 games. So that's a huge turnaround. Very impressive turnaround. On top of that, they made the playoffs for the first time since the 2019 season, and they got a division title out of it. You know what I'm saying? And so when I saw that they were they had a chance to get the division, I was like, there ain't no way they don't get this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even, they're not even supposed to be in this playoff race right now. Lo and behold, they gotten that and they got the division. And not only did they get the division, they had to go win the division by winning a primetime game. Their first primetime game of the season, mind you. They had to go play that on the road, so for against a team who is in the same scenario, the Indianapolis Colts. If they win, then they're in. So it was pretty much a playoff atmosphere right there in their face, So they went in there, they went into that environment, and they handled their business as they should. So big ups to them for defying the expectations on a whole bunch of fronts. Now, all of that was good, but there's another season that needs to be played and a whole bunch of more seasons to be played. So with all of that's been established and all the results that they've shown this year, it's time to really build on this season's results. And to me, that kind of starts with examining who are some of the free agents for the Texans this year, the upcoming free agents. So looking at this list right now, I see a lot of our defensive line is set to be free agents. So Sheldon Rankins, Derek Barnett, Jerry Hughes, Jonathan Gennard, he's down here as well. And I loved our defensive line. I thought they were a pretty solid group. They made big plays when they needed to be made. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's going to be, real interesting to see who they keep. Me personally, I think they should keep Grenard. You know what I'm saying? And, just maybe if they can keep Rankins as well. Like I said, this was not a bad group at all. You know what I'm saying? They really made like clutch plays when the plays needed to be made. In addition to those guys, I also see that where'd he go? Yeah. Devin Singletary, he's on here he's on here as a free agent. He's set to be a free agent as well. in addition to Steven Nelson, Kaimi Fairbairn, and so on and so on. So um, it's going to be, these are there's a lot of key pieces that are on here. Noah Brown as well. Singletary, he did amazing, you know what I'm saying, at times, like just stepping in as that running back. You know, when Pierce got hurt, Singletary stepped in and not even kind of, he did take over that role, you know, and he had a couple 100-yard games himself. Um, Steven Nelson, he made some big plays within that secondary. But you know what I'm saying? Like they said, this is a business. So it's gonna be interesting to see like who they actually keep. Because I don't think they'll keep all these guys. Like, you know, some of them might have to go. Oh, I forgot. Dalton Schultz is on here. Really, he had made some, like, quite a few plays as well at that tight end position. So um, whether he comes back or not, that remains to be seen. In addition to Noah Brown, Noah Brown stepped up as a wide receiver whenever, you know, Nico Collins would go down, and this was after Tank Dell went down as well. So just examining these guys and seeing who they should keep and who they shouldn't is going to be real interesting, because you know quite a few of these guys on here are just you know, key pieces to the Texans' success from this season. Kaimi Fairbairn, I think I mentioned him or not, can't remember, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he he was very important because when he went down, we had to go to our backup running back to be our kicker. So kickers, they're kind of interchangeable in the league, but you know, I would love to see Fairbairn come back. Um, with that said, another thing that they're going to need to build on, Texans need to build on, is the offense. It's crucial for Stroud's development. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did great with what he had, and this team was really put together um, during the offseason. And a lot of the pieces that were put together were like 1-year deals. You know, that's why it's, you know, so many key pieces that are on this upcoming unrestricted free agent list. And so with Stroud, it's going to be all about kind of developing, kind of building the offense around him. Me particularly, I would love to see uh, I would love to see another running back coming here. You know, and just to have that running game develop, because Pierce, he had a good rookie season, but this year, you know, not so much. You know what I'm saying? He kind of took a step back a little bit. It might have been because of the ankle injury and everything. But I expected, you know what I'm saying, a lot more from him. And I think a lot of fans did, just based off what he did in his rookie year. So I would love to see them either keep Singletary, or, you know, if they let Singletary go, just really kind of go after another running back, and you know what I'm saying, just bring somebody in that can really just build this running game up, because it's going to be crucial to building that running game to take the pressure off of Stroud. Now, in my notes, I have down wide receiver, but um, I kind of want to see another tight end coming here, because I think we're good on like what we have at wide receiver. As far, I think Stroud is pretty good. What I mean by that, I think Stroud is pretty good at like dishing the ball out to the wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? Different receivers, you know, tight ends as well. So I would love to see him like kind of get a tight end that leans more into that you know, aerial attack for tight ends. You know what I'm saying? Just to give him another option. So you know what I'm saying, if we, you know, if the receivers are covered, you know, kind of have a tight end that's like that security blanket for him a little bit. And I think a lot of people thought, you know, that would be Schultz or whatever. But if we can find like an upgrade or whatever, and that's kind of tricky since, you know, it's not that many tight ends that are like just like that. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, a lot of them, they seem to be interchangeable or whatever, but it's very few that are like, you know what I'm saying, real impactful. You know, so I would love to see if they can go after an impactful type tight end. But also with wide receiver, I haven't even looked at the full wide receiver list yet, because I don't think it would allow me to see any wide receiver outside of Mike Evans. That would be, I think that would be a dope addition to this receiver group. You know, he's had 1,000 yards in all 10 of his seasons. of his career. So he has the consistency that can probably rub off on the other receivers in this group. And so I think, and he's been to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, so he brings that championship experience. So it's a slam dunk. And ironically, I say slam dunk, and he was sitting courtside at the Rockets game the other night. So hopefully that's a sign for good things to come. But I would definitely I would not mind Mike Evans coming down here and leading this receiver group. Um, Defensive improvements. So I don't know if I touched on the tweaks and improvements that uh, that the defense actually needs. I would definitely. I could tell that there's going to need to be some tweaks to the defensive line, considering like all those people that are like on that unrestricted free agent list. I just don't see them re-signing everybody back, and so I would love to see them make a couple of additions, whether it's maybe to replace Rankins, maybe replace Barnett, or you know what I'm saying, and probably just get somebody that's a little bit in the rotation, if you will. So I would definitely love to see those tweaks made. As far as like the other positions on the defense. I know Perriman's on here. I didn't mention Perriman earlier, but he's actually on this unrestricted free agent list as well. So if we don't decide to keep him, maybe we go after somebody else. But now that I think about it, he's been in this defense, so he kind of actually, he's in this defense. So you know what I'm saying? It would be nice to bring him back for the familiarity and just kind of, it would be nice to bring him back for the familiarity and just to lead this unit going into next season. So I would definitely welcome him back. If anything, that would definitely be a good tweak, or just to keep that linebacker group all together. As far as the secondary goes, wouldn't hurt to add maybe a backup safety, or backup corner, or just go after a prime cornerback to line up opposite Derek Stingley. You know what I'm saying? We did have a lot of injuries in that group. So, you know what I'm saying, get some guys in there that's a little bit more healthier, or a little bit more consistent. I think that would be a great look for that particular group. Expectations going forward for this team, I think it's going to be extremely higher. It's going to be extremely higher for what they actually have going on. Yeah, excuse me. It's going to be extremely higher than what they were coming into this past season. So, number one, they're going to be the favorites for the division. Like I said, I didn't think they would win the division this past season, but they really showed growth. From the beginning of this season to the end of the season, and so I think that now that they won it, they're actually going to be favored to win it again next year. And Jacksonville, they cool. Indianapolis, they might get Anthony Richardson back next year. Might have a little bit of improvement or whatever. But I think everybody's just. I think outside of Houston, you know what I'm saying, everybody has been highly impressed with what the Texans have done this year, and they're going to take this year's results, and they're going to definitely take it into consideration going into next season. So yeah, expectations are going to be higher, including being favorites for the division. The schedule is now tougher. Oh my God. So yeah, with us winning the division, now we have to face the other division winners next season. So that's a Buffalo that we have to face. That's a Baltimore that we have to face again. That's a Kansas City Chiefs team that we'll have to face. And so going against those teams, those are going to be huge games, because those are teams that have been winning for like the last few years or so. You know what I'm saying? While we were down, they were up. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be imperative that everything the Texans learned about winning from this season, whether it's close games, blowouts, revenge games, such as the one against the Cleveland Browns. They're going to have to take all of that and apply it to next season, because they're going to be going up against teams that are like perennial winners. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be going up against veteran quarterbacks that are, perennial like superstars. You know what I'm saying? So the schedule, and that's just that part of the schedule. You know what I'm saying? It's going to get rougher for them, and that is expected. So I'm pretty sure this team is ready for it, and you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So that's all I got for y'all this week or this season. I want to thank everybody for supporting me and watching my videos, watching my nonsense or whatever. If you're watching this on Facebook, facebook.com/. Brandon blog. Like my page. Watch out for more videos that are coming through on here. If you're watching this on YouTube, like my page. Hit the subscribe button. Like this video, excuse me. Hit the subscribe button. And you know what I'm saying? Enjoy more content that I have on the way. I'm Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz. Thank you for watching Bullheaded this season. Holla black.